Hello again folks. I've had the Pagani design PD1692 on the wrist for about a week now, and I was wanting to make sure that I could review it knowing its faults and foibles, which I've got to admit I was a bit overwhelmed with my really good positive first unboxing impression. And I'm sorry to say, I did find a flaw. Now I don't think that this will be a deal breaker for most of you, because I know as watch people we like to, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a clue what the flaw is. Have a look at this. Yeah, it's on leather just now, and there's a reason for that. So I'll move on and let you see why. The watch head itself is great, but I did find a fault. If you have a look down here on the clasp, you see this edge here? It's really sharp, and the points on the end are also very sharp. Now, the clasp itself is quite nice, but if you have a look at this, look, if I put the watch on, those edges are just the sort of place that are going to scratch up your desktop, your dining table. I mean, I'm used to getting scratches on my watches from desk diving, as it were, but this one looks as if it's going to win the battle. So your furniture's at risk here, although it doesn't affect the comfort in wearing at all. You'll be alright. This little bit here on the clasp here is also quite sharp, and it's something to look out for. And I think it's just a finishing issue, and it'd be interesting to know if other Paganis with the same clasp share this fault, or if it's just this model, or even just this batch that haven't been properly finished on the edges. Now have a look at this on this pencil. Look at that. I can take chunks out of the wood using the corner of the clasp there. Now what's more, with the flat bit, it's practically a chisel. I can actually sharpen the pencil with it. Now I'm not saying that this is unsafe and you're going to cut yourself, but you're certainly going to bash up your furniture at some stage with it. Here's the bracelet of the watch, all repaired now, with the aid of a rotary tool with a grinding bit and a bit of emery paper and actually a knife sharpener to smooth off the edge. Actually, any one of the three of those would probably have done the job. It's now nice and smooth and not sharp and dangerous or anything like that, and it may go back on this watch or maybe one of my other ones at a later date. It's a really good bracelet apart from that error, which could just be an error with the batch this clasp came from. So I'm not absolutely certain if you buy one of these watches you're going to have the same problem that I found. Anyway, I'll go over the bracelet for you just so you know what it's like. The bracelet has screw-in adjusters, and when I bought it I had to take 3 out. Now they're screw-in, not push pin, and that's quite good news. A mark of quality, I think. Makes things nice and convenient, and well, it's the way that the top watches on the market do it, so the best way. The watch's clasp is very secure, despite the fact that it had sharp bits on it, and it has plenty of micro adjust. Now there is a diver's extension, which is a bit tight to get out, which is probably not a bad thing. You want it to stay in place, but you see you've got the diver's extension there, which is basically copying a Rolex clasp. If you look inside, there's some micro adjuster holes as well, so you're not going to have a problem getting this bracelet to fit you well. The bracelet also has solid end links, and of course the links themselves are solid steel. Brushed on the outside, polished on the edges, and the clasp, the defective clasp, is very nicely engraved with Pagani design. So I don't know if it's laser etched, but it's engraved quite deeply into the metal. It's actually quite a nice job. The loom on this watch works really well. To give you some idea, I'm going to compare it to this. This is my go-to loom watch. It's a Seiko Solar Diver. The loom lights up blue. I don't know if it's BGW9, but it's bright and it lasts well, and it's nicely and evenly applied. Apart from sharp clasps, the rest of the news is good. The watch is beautiful, feels solid, it winds nicely. The action of the winder is without any sort of sandpapery grittiness, and the screw in crown goes in nice and positively, catches the thread well. The back of the case here is absolutely lovely. It's engraved with this explorer-esque mountain scene and of course the Pagani design PD1692 model number. So folks, do I think that this PD1692 offers great value for money? Absolutely I do. The most direct comparison I can make is with Seiko 5s that I've owned. I've owned a pair of Seiko 5s and great watches, really like them, but for this money you got a Hardlex crystal, you got a movement which actually rattles almost as much as the folded steel bracelet did. You get mineral glass, not sapphire, and you don't get 200 meters of water resistance. Also, and this is just subjective, I think that this is absolutely gorgeous. So anyway, I think this is a safe place to put your money if you're this way inclined. Anyway, until the next one, bye bye for now.